MAGA wives are sick of their beta male husbands. That's crazy. Guys, don't forget to
hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up.
Advantage of the fact that MAGA men have a fetish for being absolutely dominated and humiliated. And so I've learned over the last few months that I can use that to my advantage, to get my nails done, to get my toenails done.
Really?
I just messaged one
So
of
MAGA men are the biggest simps. Wow.
these MAGA pay pigs earlier this morning and said, I want this hat from Planned Parenthood. And they immediately sent me the $25 for it. This is an endless money hole, an endless honeypot. I was surprised and also not surprised at the same time at how many of these Trump supporting men, MAGA supporting men, that will actively seek out a dom, which is someone who can financially dominate and humiliate them. And so best believe I take advantage of that shit because
as you should.
MAGA money spends just as well as my own money, and I'd much rather drain their bank accounts than my own. Anyways, I like my nails.
Hey, bro, you can't even be mad and you can't feel sorry for them, bro. Dog, it's crazy, man. The psychology behind some of these dudes on Facebook, on Instagram, and other social media platforms, even in social settings, they try to be these big, tough alpha male dudes, but behind closed doors, they want to get bent over by a woman like this. That's some wild shit when you think about it, bro. Like, damn, dog, what's wrong with these people?
I've had enough and I am breaking up with my MAGA husband. I just went and talked to a lawyer today and filed the paperwork. I really don't know what to do because I don't work and he does provide for our family. And he's also a really good dad, but I just can't handle the fact that he voted for Trump. Are any of you ladies like putting together an all-female commune for those of us that have to break up with our MAGA husband? The last straw for me was like, how come you didn't care about all of the women that were sexually assaulted and killed by illegal immigrants? Like, come on. Like, that is such a MAGA talking point. Gross. And the fact that he even uses the term illegal immigrant, I'm like, it's time for me to go.
Yeah, bro, that's some wild shit right there, dog. But my thing is this. Are you standing on principles that hard? You said he's a great husband. I mean, not a great husband, a great father. He's an excellent provider. What is he really saying behind closed doors that would prompt you to leave this man before? Because, man, I've seen women put up with much worse things. What's really going on?
Yeah, let's talk about my life as a former Trump voter. Ugh, gross. I think that there is a really hard truth that a lot of people are about to have to accept, that their families are not coming out of the cult.
Nope.
So I think today's the day that I finally start talking about my past life as a conservative. I just keep seeing videos over and over on my FYP of people that are, you know, leaving the party right now or realizing the party for what it is, and the deep grief that comes with that, the complete unwinding of who you are. It's a lot, and I'm on the other side. Fully, I'm on the other side. I'm completely estranged from my family. I was estranged from my mom before she died of COVID, but I'm on the other side. I'm doing great. It's not something I ever try to hide. I know myself. I know my own biases to a point that you can't make me feel bad for something that I've done in the past because I already make myself feel bad enough. Like, I'm incredibly self-aware. So I'm not avoiding it from shame, but more like it really is such an uncomfortable topic. But as more and more people are cutting their family off and determining what family members are kind of worth the conversation, I think I do have experience in that. On what I found to be the determining factor on if someone is going to come out of the MAGA cult or if they're just... my mom was one of those people, and it sucked. It sucked really, really fucking...
I feel like they need an AA meeting for like the MAGA cult, like some version of that. Like, hey guys, we want to welcome Officer Tatum here. Please try not to judge him. Please try to be welcoming. He's a former MAGA. He's coming here for help, guys. Let's come on. Round of applause for Officer. We need something like that, bro. that was corny. Let me get back into this.
And bad that she died.
Serious.
Not being the best person that she could be, because I know my mom could have been a good person, but she wasn't at the end of the day. But yeah,
yeah, that's some wild shit to be able to just face the fact, like, yeah, man, you know, this is my mother, this is my blood relative, but she was really a piece of shit. Like, she was not a good person. To have to say that, man, it's real.
There's some things that my soon-to-be ex-husband used to do that I didn't realize wasn't normal until after I left.
Wow.
When the Wi-Fi guy came to install our internet, he made me FaceTime him the entire time because he said that I might try and sleep with him, and then he still accused me of sleeping with him, saying that I could have slept with him before I called him or after I hung up the phone. Didn't tell me happy birthday until right before I fell asleep on my birthday, 2 months after we got married. Gaslit and manipulated me into not having a job and said, I just want you to be a stay-at-home wife. And then when like money problems would come up or any kind of issue with me would come up, he would complain about how I didn't have a job and how I'm just mooching off of him. Only came home and ate dinner with me maybe twice a week because he was at his parents' or his brother's house. He did not get me a Christmas present, but instead he gave me his debit card and said, don't know what you want, you got $50, go get yourself something nice. Complained and told me that I was folding his clothes wrong when he never ever did laundry, wash clothes, nothing. He told me over a year after we'd been married and I was pregnant that he wanted multiple wives, and then he was upset that I was upset about it. Got pissed when my parents bought us groceries one time. Told me that he didn't believe that our son was his son, and when I said get a paternity test, he said, I don't even want to because it could be so close to my brother's DNA that you probably slept with that it would just say that it was mine and I would still never know. When the electricity went out on 2 of our rooms, including a bathroom, and our washing machine was broken, and I tried to get him to fix it for about 9 months, he told me that I should have been more grateful and that it was a test to me because people back in the olden days didn't have that kind of stuff, so I should have just been grateful that I had it in the first place, even if it was broken. Okay, that's all for now. Bye.
Yo, man, hey, dog, I can't help but think about all those videos of sisters talking about, girl, go and get you a white king and all that kind of shit. I'm assuming that the guy that she was married to was a white man. I'm assuming, and boy, he took her through there. I thought it was only us blacks who did that to our queen. Come on, man. Like this, would y'all want to date the man that did that to that woman, bro? Come on, man. That's crazy. Shout out to her.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Shut up, Joe. Leah and I have
Adam
already
and
talked
Eve,
about your
Adam
search history. We all know that you love lesbians.
Whoa.
Because who else is going to make them feel as stupid as they are? Who?
That's like liking Michael Jordan but hating black people. It's crazy how they're able to compartmentalize aspects of life. All right, if you entertain me, if you provide some type of value to me, I can like you, but I'm gonna still hate the rest of you fuckers. That's really how they be thinking, bro. It always make me think back to the movie Do the Right Thing, when Paulie or whatever his name was, the owner's son, he was like, but you love Michael Jordan. Yeah, I know, but that's different. Who's your favorite basketball player? You know, Magic Johnson. I might be getting the names wrong, but you know, and he's black. You love them. Nah, they're different though. You know, they're not like them. I like lesbians because they help me get off. They're not like you other LGBTQ. Man, bro.
Menace is life-giving, okay? It fills my soul with an eye-rolling joy rivaled by only one thing, okay? As a straight white female, I am just privileged enough to be extremely problematic. I am becoming a professional instigator. I honestly didn't know that ruining their Marmalade Messiah fanfiction would be this fun. If they want to worship a little fat man into pins, then I'm going to grab them by the wampus ween, and the more they squirm, the harder I'm going to squeeze. If they're not red in the face defending their 80-year-old Cheeto man, then I'm not working hard enough.
Damn.
I'm not here to make warm family memories. I'm here to make them feel as uncomfortable as they've been making others feel for the last 8 years. I'm not ruining the holidays. I'm just fact-checking their MAGA fantasies and calling out their wild hypocrisies. Every time they quote Fox News, I choose violence. I might as well feed my cold, dark heart with their discomfort and shock. Their cognitive dissonance is my love language. Their discomfort is foreplay, and I haven't finished yet.
Yep, she was upset. I prefer when they're screaming profanities, but this will do. She got her point across. And it was aggressive. Not as aggressive as I would like it to be. Y'all know how I get down. But she was spitting on this one. You know, she's sick of y'all shit, white men. She is, bro. That's what it is.
Not love their wives. Instead, they see their wives as live-in maids and somebody who could pop out kids for them so that they can continue on their white genes. They don't actually necessarily care about the women that are building their homes that they live with. And the reason I know that is because I have gotten so many DMs from MAGA men that I can't even list them all here. And they have all said that they find feminist women so attractive and that they would love to have a wife that doesn't depend on them, even though they put themselves into that position on purpose by wanting to be a provider type.
So it's almost as if you could have dated a woman who can hold her own, or at least want to contribute to the household bills in a significant way and still be a great domestic partner, or whatever you want to call them these days. I hate when people say partner. Nigga, you mean your girlfriend? Your wife? Your boyfriend? Your husband, ma'am? Come on. Yeah, when times get tough and things are being a little shaky around the house, maybe you just got an email at 6 a.m. from Oracle saying you no longer have a job. Maybe you would have wished you had a woman who was bringing in close to what you was bringing in so she could hold that bitch down until you go figure out what's what. That's crazy.
So here are some of the messages just to prove to you this point, and also to show that a man doesn't have to like you to marry you. You just have to make his life better and more convenient. And the sooner more Republican white women realize this, the better our society will be. Because white women have historically and consistently voted against our own interests. And even if care for human rights isn't enough to move you, the fact that your husband probably doesn't love you and is messaging random leftist girls on the internet asking to see her coochie, hopefully that will be
not
enough.
a coochie. But what? They want to go see the coochie. A feminist, hardcore leftist, you want to see their what you think they lean left? Hey man, it's some crazy stuff.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, you can't make it up.
Story time. So a lot of people have asked me, what did it take for me to break from MAGA and how did I get there? If you go to my profile, you can see my turning point, but in order for that to have worked on me, I had to be humbled in my own personal life. So here's how the timeline goes. I don't remember a whole lot of politics being talked in my house. Certain ideas were just implied, for the most part. There were occasional times where I'd hear something like, illegals are taking the jobs and that sort of stuff being...
Illegals is basically a racist term at this point. Depending on who says it and how they say it, and you just look at their whole package, be like, yeah, this motherfucker's racist. You could tell. An illegal is like his N-word.
Pushed into my mind. Anyway, back to the story. I was in middle school when Obama became president, and then in high school when he became president again. Personally, I had no problem with black people or a black president. What I had an issue with and was taught to think is that the Democrats were the enemy. Not necessarily in those words, but the idea was implied. And we didn't want a Democrat president, and I also heard that he was only president because he was black.
Yo, that's crazy that they say the Democrats are the enemy, and you know it all goes back to when they did the Great Switch. Like Lyndon B. Johnson and stuff. Like they literally started hating Democrats because they used to be the Democrats. They felt betrayed, and then they became Republicans, and they've hated the Democrats ever since.
Not because he was qualified. 2015 rolls around and I finished with high school and I entered into the adult world. Got a miscarriage. Being raised in a Christian household, I'd always been told that abortion was wrong. I was 17 and then 18 and indoctrinated. Fast forward into 2016 and I start to become more involved politically. The only difference was that at the time I trusted the people around me, like I've said in other videos. So I only looked into the sources that they provided, and everything else I just had this idea pushed into my head that it was all fake news. So in that 2016 year, when I would debate with people, I was just repeating the same talking points that I was hearing all the time. And anything that was provided for me or to me, I didn't believe it because I was told not to believe it. That's how indoctrination works. They tell you not to criticize your own beliefs. And then because you don't criticize it, because you don't question it, you just go along with it. That's indoctrination. That's brainwashing. I also felt like whatever was happening up to that point wasn't working. I felt that way because my parents worked so much that I felt like I missed out on them my whole life. And if the world wasn't set up the way it was, if the system wasn't set up the way it was, maybe they wouldn't have had to work so much, and maybe I wouldn't have had to miss out on so much with them. So my anger was correct, but it was at the wrong people, and it was manipulated. Trump was running. He was not a politician. He was different. I was hearing those talking points of he's a businessman. And when I was provided proof that he was not a good businessman, indoctrination, don't look into other sources, don't believe him, I voted for him in the
Hey, the one that I love to hear from black conservatives is this. Man, white folks been filing bankruptcy for decades. We just finding out about it. Man, that doesn't make Trump a failure because he filed bankruptcy. That makes him smart. Bro, why didn't Jeff Bezos file bankruptcy? Why didn't Elon Musk file bankruptcies on multiple companies? Why didn't Mark Zuckerberg do it? Why didn't Waltons from Walmart? Why didn't the owners of Target? Why didn't all of these other successful businesses who were around then and still around now, how come they were able to figure it out without having to go through bankruptcy publicly? Now, bankruptcy is a way for you to restructure your finances and get out of debt and all of that kind of stuff. It's a legal way to do it. I understand it. If you have to do it, you have to do it. But when they are being done consecutively 6 and 7 times, however many times it was, that should point that this person isn't good at business.
2016 election, and he won. Suddenly, I didn't care about politics like I did before. I did not even bother to continue paying attention. He won and I moved on. As I was moving on, I experienced really bad, really traumatic things that really humbled me. The first one being a domestic violence relationship at 19. I'm not going to get into details on that, but it was something that I never thought I would be in, and then I was. I experienced a few other very traumatic things, and they were also humbling in their own ways. My late boyfriend passed away. I went through a short period of homelessness and feeling like I had nobody to turn to. And the partner that I had was so disconnected. 2020 rolls around.
Hey, bro, a lot of MAGA people are homeless.
And George Floyd dies. The video shook me. So I started looking at Black Lives Matter as not a racist, anti-white organization, but maybe there was something else that I was missing. Maybe there was a perspective I didn't know, because how could I know it? I'm not black. And I started listening to stories from people that I knew, people that I went to school with. And then my turning point happened. And I still wanted to believe that Trump was for the people. I didn't want to believe that he was racist, and I didn't want to believe that he was anti-American yet. The turning point came. The peaceful protesters were tear gassed, and I tried to gaslight myself. He's going to say something. I kept telling myself he's going to say something. I mean, it wasn't like he was the one that went up to the security people or police or whatever and said, go tear gas them so I can do a photo shoot. That's how I was justifying it to myself. So I thought he'd make a statement, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited.
Hey, man, my thing is this, though, dog. I feel like you would have a much easier time proving that Trump is a bad business person. Trump is a racist. Trump is ill qualified to be president than you can to prove that he isn't a racist, that he is a good big business person, and that he is capable of running a country effectively. I would rather argue against it than to have the daunting task of trying to convince an audience that he is worthy of any of this shit. Boy, what? Crazy. Well, I guess that's the end of the video, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and don't forget to hype your boy up, man. For real.